Good day, everyone. I am your speaker for today, and I will show you the assertiveness, communication, and authority on board ship. Firstly, we will tackle the various forms of authority. Formal authority, expert authority, charismatic, traditional, moral, and legal authority. Formal authority. This type of authority is given to individuals by an organization or institution, typically through their position or title. For example, a CEO has formal authority over their employees. Next is expert authority. This type of authority is based on an individual's knowledge or expertise in a particular area. For example, a doctor has expert authority in the field of medicine. Next is the charismatic authority. This type of authority is based on an individual's personal qualities, such as their charisma, charm, and ability to inspire others. For example, a political leader who inspired their followers through charismatic authority. Traditional authority. This type of authority is based on customs, traditions, and social structures. For example, a monarch who has inherited their position from their parents has traditional authority. Another is the moral authority. This type of authority is based on an individual's perceived moral standing or righteousness. For example, a religious leader who is respected for their adherence to their faith teaching has moral authority. Lastly is the legal authority. This type of authority is based on laws and regulations that are enforced by a legal system. For example, a police officer has legal authority to enforce laws and maintain order in a community. Within the following scenario, we will witness the formal authority on board ship. At the first scenario, we can see the second engineer and the cadet working at the main engine.
Attention all engineers. Please proceed to the mastering station for toolbox meeting. I repeat, please proceed to the mastering station for toolbox meeting.
And now, we can see the wiper tidying things up.
Attention all engineers. Please proceed to the mastering station for toolbox meeting. I repeat, please proceed to the mastering station for toolbox meeting.
They are now running to go for the mastering area. Within the following scenario, we will witness of how effective and assertive communication can be.
Alpha, mastering ready.
Ready, sir!
Alpha 1.
Alpha 2, sir!
Alpha 3, sir.
Alpha 4, sir! All on 4, sir!
With the paper seen in front of you, you can see the toolbox checklist. It consists of discussions from safety issues or concerns that exist on site with regards to our workers.
To start this, does anyone have any updates on any issues within the overall ship safety, equipment, and the environment?
Sir, I believe that some power tools within the equipment like the drill drivers are not functioning well because of the internal vibration it is causing.
To add, sir, circular saws are rusty which causes it to not function well.
Okay, sir. If I may also add, sir, there is one lighting at the bridge, port side, in which doesn't work.
Kindly list all your descriptions within the provided paper in front of you. Is there anything else?
Still, sir, the issue last meeting is not yet fixed.
In terms of the faulty equipment, we will restock as soon as possible on the next port. On the other hand, I will later deploy an individual to fix some lightings within the ship. May it be an electrician or an officer.
After the discussion, we can now see all the checklists highlighted and acknowledged. On our next topic, we will now delve into another conclusion, which is the authority on board ship, in which consists of the deck department, engine department, and as well as the steward's department. Firstly is the master, usually called as the captain. He acts as the commanding officer of the ship. He is primarily responsible for the safe navigation, care and delivery of cargoes, safe operation, and the life and safety of all on board. Next is the chief officer.
He is the head of the deck department, next in command to assume the position of the master. He is responsible for the stowage of cargo, stability of the ship, care and maintenance of deck equipment. The second officer. He is designated as the navigation officer and is responsible for the navigation and bridge equipment. In port, he is assigned by the chief officer in the loading and unloading of cargoes. And now, the third officer. He is responsible for the upkeep of the life-saving appliances, firefighting, and signaling equipment. At sea, he is assigned to stand watches. In port, he is assigned by the chief officer in the loading and unloading of cargoes. A list of deck cadet duties includes maintaining ship areas, making sure that life-saving equipment is available and functioning, performing necessary repairs, assisting with the driving of the ship, mooring and anchoring, and handling various ports operation.
As we have now tackled the ship's organizational structure, we will now go to the engine department.
The chief engineer is a licensed mariner in charge of the engineering department on a merchant vessel. He is responsible for all operations and maintenance that has to do with any and all engineering equipment throughout the entire ship. Next up is the second engineer. The second engineer's responsibilities include, but are not limited to, the execution of the planned maintenance, supervision of repairs and advising chief engineer on ordering of spares and consumables. The third engineer. The third engineer perform independent watch-keeping duties, execute maintenance and repairs on equipment as delegated by supervisor, act as standing instructions, report to the second engineer and first engineer. The fourth engineer is responsible for the proper safe, efficient, and economical operation for the vessel's machinery and equipment assigned to his or her care. Contribute to a safety culture by understanding and complying with various safety processes within the safety management system. Lastly is the engine cadet. He is the one who helps assisting with any planned maintenance work, which is usually accompanied by the second engineer.
Within the risk assessment meeting happening right now within the scenario, we will now focus on the importance of assertive communication.
As we are all about to go to our designated task, we should firstly assess all the hazards that may be present during our working phases.
In assertive communication, it is stated that the importance of stating your point or view clearly within others, as to tell the other person of how you feel as honestly as you can, and remember to listen to what they say as well. As you can see within the scenario, the chief engineer is thinking about his tone and volume of his voice as to how he say it is as important as he says. To add, assertive people tend to have the following characteristics. They feel free to express their feelings, thoughts, and desires. With the following risk assessment, we will now witness an accident that may occur if assertiveness is not present within any form of conversations on board the ship. We can now see the wiper leaving the scene as he accidentally left some hazardous materials within the floor, causing the cadet to trip over it, which made him unconscious for more than an hour. And now, we will now go back to the basics. Assertiveness. Assertiveness in our relationship and shipboard culture. Assertiveness is the ability to honestly express your opinions, feelings, attitudes, and rights without undue anxiety, in a way that doesn't infringe on the rights of other people, may it be on board or offshore. In the next scenario, we can now see the second engineer and the wiper working all together. However, it has come to conclusion that they don't seem to resolve their conflict of working together, resulting into an unnecessary fights. Fortunately, with the right authority of the chief engineer and correct communication of assertiveness to both workers, the conflict is now resolved and ended with the proper working environment.
Please, fast. Your position, please. Your position.
33,
Yes.
51.
And then under.
Okay, AC 52. We have small children. Please, can you have a break?
Okay, how many people on board?
I think it's about 150 persons.
100.
Something.
What kind of boat? What?
It's between 130 to 160.
Okay.
And we have most of them is women and kids. Please, can you help us very
Okay.
quickly? Yeah, we are thinking. We are staying here in the same coordination. We will not move.
Madam, please, calm down, because we will send rescue, but you need to calm down. Okay, so save your battery. I will call you back, okay?
And now, on to our last situation. We can now see the chief engineer pressing 7 long blast. Attention everyone on board the vessel, a fire is now present at the engine room. Please do not panic. After the public announcement, we can now see an engineer informing the bridge.
Alpha mastering ready.
Ready, sir.
Alpha 1.
Alpha 2, sir.
Alpha 3, sir.
Alpha 4, sir. All accounted for, sir.
After mastering in accordance within the station bill, they are now ready to combat the fire. With their coordination and proper communication within the authority as a team, they can now conquer anything that may come at hand.